when you worship and how you worship defines which God you worship. So if you worship the God of Abraham, of Isaac, and of Jacob, there are certain things and certain times and certain days that you're going to get together. What most people don't understand is that the days that you keep today aren't from the Bible. They were mandated by councils hundreds of years after the close of Scripture. I talked about this last Sabbath, and when actually Sunday and Christmas became mandatory observances for Christians. And it was in the mid 300s when this happened. This is a totally knowable thing. You don't need special books or anything like that. You can just ask your phone, which is what I demonstrated in the sermon. I used Microsoft Copilot to ask, when did Christmas actually become the birth of Jesus? And it's like 336 AD is when this happened. Most people don't know this. Most people don't know that a bunch of men got together and made these councils and made edicts, which they made decrees that were equal to actually Torah. They defined sins hundreds of years after the close of Scriptures. Things that the apostles themselves did not do became mandatory, and things that the apostles did became unlawful by the decrees of men. Of course, we know that Jesus said that people make void the commandments of God through the doctrines of men. We know this is a bad practice. So I would like to encourage you to go and ask your phone, when did Christmas become mandatory for Christians? When did Sunday become mandatory for Christians? Because the earliest Christians actually kept the Sabbath. They kept the Sabbath every Saturday, every Friday from sundown to Saturday sundown. They went to the synagogue to hear Moses, to learn about the God of Abraham and Isaac and Jacob. That's where that happens. And if you knew that it was a bunch of men who decided that you had to go to church on a certain day, not from the Bible, that would probably bother you. If you go read the Council of Laodicea, they have many, many, many edicts that they said who a believer could hang out with, who a believer could dine with, who a believer could not hang out with. These are all things that we would completely reject wholesale today, but have been entrenched into Christianity so long that we take them for granted. So please encourage you to go watch the message that this is linked to, which will give you the resources, or just go look up the Council of Laodicea and start asking your phone some questions. As you're looking at the way you worship God and looking around your house and looking at the things you do and realizing that they don't actually come from the Bible, it's not that hard these days with the phone in your pocket to figure out where they come from. Shalom, and may Yahweh bless you and keep you in the name of his son, Yeshua.